Hey guys, I've been performing magic and mentalism all over the world for many, many years. And I'm always on the lookout for that next cool trick that's going to help me, sort of leave the impression with people that I possess supernatural powers. I mean, it's such a kick. I love doing that. And whether it's magic or mentalism, I'm always looking for that cool thing. The trick I'm going to share with you today involves an unprepared and ordinary book. Just an ordinary book, no other preparation required. And it is, out of all the ways I've found, it is without a doubt one of the very best ways I've ever found to convince people I really can read their mind. If you were right here in the studio with me, here's exactly what we'd do. I'd say, look, I'd hand you the book. You'd look through the book. You'd see that this is an ordinary book filled with a bazillion different words, okay? All different words in here. Ordinary book. I can even borrow this book from somebody, okay? It's just a book. If you went through it, you'd see there's nothing special about it. I haven't put glue somewhere or folded a page or nothing like that. I pick up the book, flip through the pages like this, and say, okay, whenever you want, call stop, and you'd have a totally fair choice. You could stop at any page, okay? Let's say you call stop at any page. You'd stop at the page. I'd say, go ahead, look at the first word on the page. You look at the first word on the page. That would be it. It's that fair, okay? Pretty much, you borrow a book, pretty much any book. They call stop wherever they want. They remember the word. And at that point, to build the drama, I always say, well, how many words do you think are in the book? I mean, do you think there are, 1,000, 2,000? How many words do you think are in the book? And they go, well, we talk for a little bit and we let the drama build because they're thinking of the word. And I keep saying, you haven't forgotten the word, right? They haven't forgotten the word. And I say, I don't know if you've read this book. Have you read it? Have you, when's the last time you read a book? And we talk a little bit about that. And then I admit, okay, I've actually been stalling, because I'm not sure what your word is. I mean, I look them in the eyes. Always great, with an attractive person. You look them right in the eyes, get a chance to flirt a little bit if you want. Say, okay, I think I get a sense. Is there and you name one of the letters, and they go, yes. Then you name another letter, and they go, yes. And there's a sense in the room of, wait a second, and then finally, you dramatically name the one word from all these that they freely chose, the one word that they were thinking of the entire time. Like with all the amazing tricks I share with you on this series of videos, my focus is to do the research, and I've been doing this for a long time, is I've done the research and found all my favorite tricks that are dead easy to do. So what you can do, and this is really the key to great magic, is you can focus on the presentation. You can focus on having fun with them. And this one is a perfect example. Now there's one little catch. It's a small catch. It's a little bit about the preparation involved and about when you can do this. But you'll see that other than this one little catch, this trick is as amazing as it seems. They have free choice. They can stop at any page. They're thinking of the word. There are no questions. They don't have to write anything down. It's that incredible. Okay? Here we go. Here's the secret. You need to be using a book where the page numbers are up in the corner. Okay? That's the one thing. And I've looked around, probably, maybe not quite half, but a third of the books you'll find out in the world are like this anyway, so it's not a big deal. Extremely common. You don't want the page numbers down here at the center, or even centered. You want them near to the corner. That's the one thing you need. Now, when I performed this for you a moment ago here in the studio, I made a point of locking in a certain image with you. Okay, it's a very important image. And that was when we went through like this, and I had my head turned. And you're going to do the same thing with people. You're going to make sure you lock in that image. But the reality is that for just a beat, you don't want to do it suspiciously, for just a beat, you're going to be looking forward. Just forward. That's the whole technique, okay? Because here's what happens. We go through, you call stop. You're going to call stop. And I start by saying, I'm going to go through the book like this. And as I go through, you call stop. And I make sure you see my head turned at that point, okay? I do this. I say, I'm going to go through. So that's my run through. And then when I say, here we go, I do this and I turn and I look at them. Now, their focus is here, okay? They're focused here. You're not trying to do anything sneaky like some sort of quick glance, okay? You're going to look ahead for a moment. They call stop. And then you open the book and you see, take a look right there. And at this point, I say, and I'm just turning my head. I say, go ahead, look. Now, there is no way I can see any of the words on this page. There's no way, okay? And they know it. Everybody can know it. So there's no sense that you're peeking at anything. But you are. Because just when I do this, okay, and say, take a look at this, I want to turn this book for you and I want to see. From my perspective, okay, looking this way, what I see is this. I see the page number there. So it's just for a beat. I go through, I say call stop. So I'm going to go through, you call stop whenever you want right there. Okay, I want you to look at the first word on that page. And just like that, I saw it. It just took a second, a turn of my head. And then I make sure they see it, and I hold this image for another couple of beats so they get that locked in, and then I let it go. That's the method. Okay, that's step one, really. So I now know, since I saw, let's say, page 123, let's say, I now know, having seen page 123, I now know that their word is the word they're thinking of, is the word at the top of the page of page 122. I just deduct one. If you find deducting one digit is tricky for you, I think most of the tricks here might be a bit complicated. Just an FYI, okay? So we're here. I now know. So this is where it's the perfect time to build the drama, but also find out the word. Because what I do is, let's say I need to get to the first word on page 122. So I've got the book, and what I say is great. I say, okay, so let me ask you, you're thinking of a word. I'm going to try to get a sense of it. Try to prevent me from getting that word as much as you can. Okay, you're holding on? Okay. Now, how many words, I mean, I don't know if you've read this book or not, but how many words do you think are in here? And all I'm doing is asking a few questions and asking how many words. And as I go through, I glance down. And I'm glancing down, I'm going through, and I just keep going through until I get to the page, okay? Now, this takes practice. You'd be surprised, because you want to make sure it looks as natural as possible. You practice it, you're going through. As soon as I spot it there, I keep going. I now know the word they're thinking of is abandoned. And I don't, once I spot it, close it up and I'm done. That looks suspicious. I then lower it down and soften it and sort of say, so you could have been thinking of anyone in here, right? You sure about that? Okay, let me see if I can get a letter. Let's see if I can get a letter. And I choose the most obvious letter, one of the common letters, one of the most common vowels I can find in their word. Since their word's abandoned, I'm going to go with the E. It's very common near the end, the ED. So I go, is there an E? There's an E in it, right? And they go, yeah, big deal, there's an E. And I go, is it a 3 syllables? Is there 3 syllables? And they go, yeah. And now they're starting to think, what the heck is going on here? So you can, and now it's up to you how you want to dramatically, without a doubt, convince them. You can read minds. You can write down a letter or two, or write down a word. I'm not sure. Get close to it. Does it have the word bun? Is there a sound of bun in it, like abundant, this kind of thing? So you can work it out however you want, whatever suits your style. A great magic trick is like a recipe in a cookbook. It's kind of dead. It's just there. It's up to the performer, or the chef in this case, to bring it to life. So the best tricks that people ever see are really great performances. They involve secrets that only you and I know, for sure, but you've worked to bring it to life. You've worked to get people to care about it. You've worked to build the mystery. And this trick that I just shared with you is a great example of how you can build something. Because, you know, if you can have the greatest mystery in the world, but if you share it in such a way like, then it's just going to get that response. But if you build it, so with this trick, one of the ways we build it is by that pause between when they're thinking about it and when we reveal it. And also, how do you reveal it? If you just blurt out the word top hat, that's what you're thinking of, top hat. It's like, well, I got no clue how you did that. But whereas if you, is there a T in it? Is it maybe a piece of clothing, something like that? Now all of a sudden you're engaging people, getting their imaginations. You are building the mystery, okay? You're making it so much more impossible seeming, okay? So when you're doing your tricks, always look, whether it's a card trick, a coin trick, whatever kind of trick, always figure out and approach it with an attitude of, how can I make this more amazing? How can I build the mystery?